Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're going to be installing this X-pipe on my Mustang GT. So you're going to need some 15mm, 14mm sockets, some extensions, some U-joints, and some different size socket wrenches, and I'll show you that later. So the first thing we're going to do is jack up the driver's side here, and so what I like to do is jack a little bit farther back here. If you have subframe connectors, it's even nicer. And then go ahead and put the car down on the jack stand towards the front like that. Then we're going to go ahead and go over to the other side and repeat the same process and just get it under here so that we're on both of these frame supports, and make sure that the parking brake is up and that the car's in gear so it doesn't roll. Next we're going to go ahead and pop the hood and remove the battery. It's usually an 8mm socket that will take this off. This one's aftermarket. It was a little bit bigger, but we're going to take off the negative and, if you want, the positive terminal. Next we're taking our 7/8 inch wrench and we're coming up here on the exhaust and finding the O2 sensor, and so we're just going to loosen that up just by breaking it and twisting it counterclockwise. And so you really don't have to unplug these. What you can do instead is reach up in there and just unscrew them. There's enough slack in it, and there's one on each side. This is the driver's side now, and so same thing. We're going to go in here with our 7/8 inch wrench and bust that one loose, and then just unscrew it, and they'll just kind of hang there like this once you unscrew them from the exhaust. And with all the heat and road grime, it's a really good idea to soak these nuts in liquid wrench as you're working. Okay, next we're taking our 15mm deep socket, because it's the stud, and we're using an extension. And on this side you really don't need a U-joint or anything. It's pretty much a straight shot to it like this. And so we're going to go ahead and break the bottom and the top one loose. And you will need an extension, because you'll see here you got the deep socket to go over the stud, and then the extension will bring you out here. Okay, so we went ahead and broke both of those loose, and that's kind of what it looked like with that. Now this is for the passenger side. You'll need the deep socket and the U-joint. So you're going to come up here and you're going to go on the passenger side, the far side on the other side of the catalytic converter, and you're going to be able to get onto the top exhaust nut there. So you can see we got it in there, and this one does require that U-joint just to get that nice angle in there. But for the bottom there is a trick, and what you want to do is go to a 15mm 1/2 inch drive, because if you look at it, it acts as a deep socket just because it's a bigger socket, and so it will cover the stud, but it's short enough to get in there a little bit better than the 3/8 inch drive deep socket. So as you can see here, we're up against the body pretty tight, and so that's why that smaller in-depth socket works a little bit better for that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and break both of those loose. Just remember, you're turning these counterclockwise when you're upside down and backwards, and it gets a little confusing, so make sure you are turning these the correct way and going counterclockwise as you break them loose. Now as you're removing these nuts, sometimes the entire stud comes out with it, as you can see here, and so I'll show you a trick to getting that off. Just let it come out. We'll be able to fix that later. And so as you can see, that's what was happening here. So just go ahead and remove the entire stud. It will come out with the nut still attached to it. Now we're just moving on to the rear portion of the mid-pipe here, and there's two O2 sensors here, the rear O2s. You're just going to push down on the tab. I've already kind of separated this one. And push down on that tab and separate these. Sometimes it helps to put a little screwdriver in the top and twist it a little bit to get you to have those come apart. And you can leave these in here for now, because when the pipe's off the car, it's a lot easier to break those loose. Okay, so next we're coming in with our 15 or 14mm socket wrench here, and we're just taking off the nuts for the mid-pipe where it meets the catback. Now I really like the stock mid-pipe because it has like a self-locking washer on the very end of it, so all you have to do is loosen these and they'll come right off, and you only have to take the exhaust nuts off, and there's still studs protruding from the mid-pipe into the catback, so it kind of holds it in place for you. But at this point, this is where we're going to get under here, and we're basically going to pull the catback forward, or pull the mid-pipe forward to release it from the catback. And then when we do that, we'll be able to have it loose in the back and disconnected, and then we can just drop it down in the front where it meets the exhaust manifolds. So sorry this isn't the best view, but you can kind of get the idea here. So once you drop that down free in the back, then you're just going to lower the front end out, and I just kind of crawl on my back, walk my whole body out from underneath the car. And this is why it's good to have the car up as high as you can get it in the front so that it clears and you can get out of here pretty easily. So here I am walking away on my back. Anyway, so now that we have the mid pipe out, we're going to go ahead and break loose these rear O2s. So it's that 7/8 inch wrench. Just going to remove those. Check for your gasket to make sure that it's still up in there. Sometimes these tear or the centerpiece falls out and you need to get a new one. That one looks pretty good shape. And so now here is the X pipe itself as we have it laid out in pieces. So you'll notice the left hand side here is the longer side on the driver's side. And so then we got our new O2s that we screwed in. It has the couplings and then the front and the left. Now this one's a ball shape, and then this side on the passenger side was the side with our gasket. So you'll have a pretty good idea when you get under there. You won't mix these up. Okay, so now we're going to put the passenger side on, and I like to get this side on and tighten it down all the way tight, okay, so that it is firm and not moving anywhere. That's the hardest side to get to seal, so we went ahead and tightened those up and down on each side. And then we just took our O2 sensor and we twisted it counterclockwise so that then when we put it in the threads and turn it clockwise to screw it back in, the wires end up straight in the end. So that's a little tip for you. Just turn it the opposite direction, then screw it in. Next, on the stud that was still in there, I'll just show you. Get some vice grips, and you just tighten and then loosen, and you should be able to break that nut free. Sometimes you got to go tight and loose a few times, but if you have a little impact gun, that's perfect. Now we have our stud here and our nut, so we'll just put that back in. Alright, on the passenger side, we want it loose. So get it in there kind of snug, but you want it loose so that it's easy to line everything up. Next, we bring in our little baffle attachments here on each side. And so that's going to be what joins this section of the mid pipe to the rear section. So now we just need to grab that centerpiece. And here's the way that it goes together. You're going to have a washer that you put onto the new hardware that they give you. You'll put that bolt through, and then on this back side, you're going to go with another washer first. Put that on the end. Followed by a lock washer. Go ahead and put that on the end. And then finally, the exhaust nut. Okay, now sometimes, as you can see here, this is a pretty big stretch, so you got to kind of tighten it down and then go side by side in order to get it to line up and kind of snug it down. So this is how it looks like here. You can see we just have the bolt head with the washer, and then on the catback side we have the other washer with the lock washer and then the nut. Okay, so here's what it looks like so far. The driver's side is all the way tight and in. It comes back here, and we're tightening it down here. The driver's side, we've got it a little bit loose so that we can still move things around, and we've got it attached. Now here's a little tip. I like to take the floor jack and slightly lift on the mid pipe. You don't want to lift too much. You don't want to put too much pressure and crack a manifold or anything, but this helps lift that mid pipe right where we need it. Then go ahead and tighten down the top and bottom nuts on the driver's side. Okay, so just go back and forth and make sure you're getting a really good seal. And some kits have a little cup that goes in here, so watch out for that. This one didn't have that. Okay, next we tightened down our O2 sensor, made sure that both of those are tight on the front. Everything's good there. And then we're going to go ahead and plug in our rears. Okay, so next we're sliding our little coupling in place here, and then we're just tightening it down. These were 14 millimeter. Actually, these were 15 millimeter, I believe. And so, as you can see, as you tighten these down, it kind of sandwiches it, and it has specific hardware. It was pre-assembled, so hopefully yours is. But we're just going to go ahead and tighten this down on each side. The rear O2s, you will notice you have to take them out of where they're clamped into the transmission mount, and they will reach. You can see it's kind of a tight stretch here, but you just got to knock them out of where they are mounted up. Okay, from here, just reconnect your battery and go ahead and lower the car back down safely, one side at a time. Be very careful doing that. Now, if you are removing the catalytic converters, or even if you're going to high flow cats, odds are you will get a check engine light. So you will need either a tune for the vehicle, or you can try what's called mill eliminators, which are basically some dummy O2s that when you plug them in, it tells the car it's an open loop in the rear, so it doesn't really listen to what the rear O2s are saying. You can also, if you do have a handheld tuner, turn off the rear O2s. That should get you away from a check engine light, but I'll put videos to that. I'll put the links to those videos in the video description if you want to check that. And if you have any questions, let me know, but thanks for watching.